What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Guard Post on YouTube, place where I talk about football. Today, we're doing part 3 of the James Morgan series. So this is his game versus Miami in 2019, about halfway through the season. Pretty good game overall, a couple not so good things. There's about 9 clips in this video, and super excited to share it with you guys. This is going to be the last one before I do the same schedule for a release for an undisclosed player as of right now for next week. And this has been a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed the videos. Make sure you guys like and subscribe if you like the content. And we're just going to go ahead and get right into it. Thank you guys for watching. So this play in and of itself is nothing really special. We're going to be watching James Morgan. Of course, he's just going to be throwing a little hitch. Nothing really crazy. They get the first down. But what I want you guys to watch is his feet. So we're going to hit play here. He's going to drop back. He keeps patting his feet until he has to throw the ball. Throws an accurate pass to the hitch. And the dude, maybe not the first down. He gets to 2nd and 3. I'm going to go ahead and go back. Going to go ahead and throw this on slow motion here. 0.5, so we can get a really good look at what's going on. So I'm going to hit play. If it'll go. There we go. So he hikes the ball, takes his 1-step drop. And he gets to the top of the drop. A lot of the times in the past, what he'll do is he'll just stop his feet and he'll just sit. Instead, here he pats his feet, stays on his toes, so he's able to react to really anything that comes at him if he's forced to leave the pocket very quickly. He also does a good job of seeing his matchup. He's got a screen backside. He's got one-on-one here with a DB, so he's going to take the one-on-one and throw the quick hitch for quick yards because they're all manned up on the screen side, and screens don't usually work as well versus man coverage. So as you'll see, he gets to the top, pats his feet, and then plants. I'd like to see him follow through a little bit, but this isn't a very deep throw, so he's just trying to get it out quick and on time. He throws with anticipation, which is also very good. And overall, this is just a really good rep because he pats his feet, stays on his toes, throws with anticipation, and gets the ball off accurately. Let me preface this play with saying this is a really good play. James Morgan does a great job moving the pocket, getting the throw off, completing this pass on 3rd and 7 for the first down. What I'm going to be critiquing on here is more of something that's been a bad habit created by kind of plays like this. So he hikes the ball. We're going to just watch it through real quick. Takes a little sidestep, throws the ball to a wide open guy, 3rd and 7 with pressure in his face. Really good play overall. We're going to go ahead and throw this bad boy in slow motion here. Just a little bit of throw in slow motion. See here how he kind of doesn't step into that throw. That's kind of one of my biggest flaws with him overall is he does not use his lower half to throw, and it causes a lot of inaccuracies in his throwing motion. Here it's fine because there's a guy in his face. He's not fully able to step up into his throw. Love when YouTube does that. Skips, but boom. Makes the throw there. Does a really good job of getting this off under pressure while still getting hit and keeping it accurate. There's other times he doesn't do that because he doesn't fall through. He'll be in a completely open pocket and he won't pull his right leg, his back leg, all the way through on the throw, and that causes balls to sail on him a lot. He gets a lot of airmail that way, and it does create a long-lasting problem that he gets a lot of overthrows, which can lead to a lot of interceptions. And in this case, it's not one of them because it's a really good throw, really good play. It's a wide open receiver, but he gets this ball on target, allows him to run with it a little bit and makes him yak and get the first down. But overall, it's just something to watch out for is that he doesn't always involve his lower half like he doesn't on this play, but he does so rightfully here. So when a lot of scouts talk about James Morgan, they talk about his pocket moving being one of his best traits, and overall, I'd agree with that. He does a really good job maneuvering in pockets, whether they're crowded or not crowded. Here's an example of it, though, where he can still learn there. Here he's trying to move in the pocket in this exact play, and he ends up moving a little bit too much. And I'll show you this. We'll run this through full speed first. He drops back, scoots up a little too much, puts himself in a lot of pressure for getting rid of this ball and overthrowing it by a mile because he's not able to drop his shoulders or follow through on the throw. So we're going to take a look. We're going to throw this back in slow motion so we can just kind of analyze his drop and what he does here. So boom, he drops back all the way to his deepest right here. I would honestly say he probably only needs to move up a yard, maybe a yard and a half to right here. He ends up moving almost all the way up to here, and that puts him in a lot of danger and a lot of pressure and he's not able to fully step up because there's going to be a guy right in his face because he moves up too much. If he moved up a little bit less here, so if he moved up to maybe right here, he'd probably be okay. If he set his feet through this ball, he'd be able to get his shoulders down, really be able to make a play with this. But since he continues to move up, he puts himself in danger, not able to get a throw off accurately, and it creates a lot of problems there for him. And that really causes this overthrow to really nobody. I have no idea who he's throwing it to. I think he might have been trying to throw it here, or there was a miscommunication with the receiver. He thought he was going to be right here, but he ended up being here. So there was really big miscommunication there. But there was a guy open, and if he was able to only step up a little bit versus all the way up to where he did, then he might be able to make this play. But he steps up too far, probably about a yard too far, and also to the right, which is unnecessary. I feel like he probably could have just stepped up straight and made something happen. But he steps up too far, and it causes him to have to throw this awkwardly and then end up being an overthrow, which could have been really bad. So this is going to be a really quick clip. I just want to discuss something that I noticed with his throwing motion. So he throws this football. It's a little high, but accurate. He doesn't have to really extend too much the receiver to make a play on this ball, on this hitch. But I really don't care about that on this play. It's a third and 8. He makes a good play. I want to look at James Morgan's hips when he throws this football. So as you see, he's loading up, doesn't really follow through like he never really does on throws under 10 yards. And when he throws this football, I feel like his hips come a little bit before his shoulders. And what I mean by that is that he throws his hips open before he turns his shoulders, and that causes him to lose a little bit of velocity on this throw, and he's not really able to drive it into holes. And it's something I noticed here, and I've noticed a couple other times. I may just be seeing things, but I just feel like instead of stepping forward, he steps to the side, opens his hips early, and then brings his shoulders, meaning all the power from the throw is coming from his upper body and not his lower body. So that's just kind of diagnosing what might be happening with his throwing motion here, and I think a good QB coach can fix that. I just wonder how long it would take to fix it, and I think it might take more than just 1 year. So James Morgan really struggled with drops, not him as a player, but his wide receivers struggled with drops. And here's a play where he makes a fantastic throw, and it all ends badly. So he's going to drop back. He sees it's man-to-man, and he's going to target this slot fade. He loves throwing these slot fades. Usually there's a lot of space to throw these because his receivers does not do a bad job. Here, his receiver does not do a good job at all. He gets pressured out to the really close to the sideline, leaving only one spot for James Morgan to throw it, and James Morgan throws it to that one spot. So as you see, he gets hit here. Really good throw overall. Just puts this in the bucket. Skipped a little bit there. Let's just go ahead and watch, see where this ball ends up, see if I can pause it at the right moment. It's a little bit out in front of him, but that's a catch you got to make if you want to be a good receiver, because you got to be able to kind of extend for that and make that play. He doesn't do that, and it ends up being a drop. This could have been a really big gain on a 1st and 10. Instead, I believe they do get a touchdown on this drive, but off of a screen and nothing really big. But this does affect kind of the momentum because he gets hit, makes a really good throw that can hurt a QB's confidence when his receiver doesn't get this. Luckily, it didn't. That's still a really good throw under pressure to put this ball really in the one spot that your receiver can catch it and the DB can't affect the play. Because if this is in the breadbasket, sure, it's easier for the receiver to catch it, but the DB is going to be easier for him to break that pass up here. It's hard for the DB to make a play. It's a little bit harder for the wide receiver to make a play, but he can still do it. So it's just rough to see that. We're going to go ahead and throw this on full speed here just so I can show you guys this throw at full speed and just so you guys can be properly like, wow, that was a good throw. Throws it, gets hit, puts it in the spot because his receiver does not do a good job keeping space between him and the sideline to adjust to the ball, and it's a fantastic throw that leads to a drop. So this is a play that I'm going to use as an example of one of the things that bothers me the most about James Morgan's play, and that's the fact that when he tries to improvise, his decision-making kind of goes down the toilet. It gets really bad. He doesn't make a lot of good decisions when he's improvising. And here's just an example of it. So it's a 2-man, 3-man rush. This guy right here is going to rush late. And he's just chilling back there. He's got plenty of time. He moves out to the left. He can just set up and make a play here. When he throws this football, he falls over. Don't really know why. It's because he doesn't follow through. He doesn't have a good base. He doesn't set his base for this throw. And that ends up with another underthrow, which ends up being almost picked, and the receiver has to play defense. And what sucks is this wide receiver has a step. He has like 2 or 3 steps, and that's why he threw the ball. So the decision making, I guess, wasn't terrible. I don't like the decision though, because it's a 3rd and 8. You're up by 13. You're trying to make a play, and you have a guy open right here that if you throw him the ball, he might make somebody miss, and he can make something happen with the ball. You have the time to see this and make this decision so that you can just get the first down. Big thing I've heard, I remember Drew Brees has said this, first downs, not touchdowns. That's what you got to think, because you get closer and closer, it gets easier and easier. And we all know Drew Brees and that Saints offense has been dynamic for years. So if he just dumps this off right here, that's a first down. Pretty much almost guaranteed. Like, that's just what would happen. But he decides to make the decision to throw the ball 40 yards downfield with a terrible base, not following through, not getting everything he's in his body into this throw, ends up being underthrown and almost picked. It's just really bad decision-making. Don't mind the pocket movement to move around and try to make something happen, but when he improvises, his decision-making and his process just go down the toilet, and it's just not very good to watch. A little bit of a change here to how we're doing this. There's no face cam taking too much of my CPU, so we're just going to move right on along. This is a great throw by James Morgan here. We're going to see him under a little bit of pressure, throw the perfect pass that ends up getting dropped. So I want you guys, we're just going to hit play here. Keep an eye on this receiver down here. Just runs a fade route. I'm just going to watch the throw first before I go into anything else. Fantastic ball that ends up getting bobbled and dropped. Just going to watch here. Boom. Perfect spot. Ends up dropping it. It should have been a touchdown. Just watch him. He fades back a little bit. Does a good job fading away from contact so he doesn't get hurt or hit, and still manages to follow through and pull his hips all the way through on the throw, which is good to watch. And just, it's probably the best throw I've seen him make. Watching film, there might be 1 or 2 that might have been a little bit better, but this is up there on throws. There's not a ton of separation. If he throws this behind, it's an incomplete pass, but he throws in the perfect spot. Don't know how the receiver drops this. You're D1 receiver. You got to catch these kind of passes. Ends up dropping it. They only get 3 points on this possession, so it goes to 16-0 instead of 20-0, which is a big difference. There's a difference between a 3-score and a 2-score game. So, yeah, that's just a really big drop at this stage in the game, but a really, really good throw by James Morgan. All right, so in this next play, it's something that I've noticed a lot with his game, and he does this quite often, is when he's in a pressure situation, a big play situation where something needs to happen, he might need to take a shot. It's 3rd and 15, or it's late in the game, late in the 4th, and he needs to get points. He takes reckless shots. His decision making kind of goes down a lot because he makes a lot of bad decisions. So I want you guys to watch this. He does a good job managing the pocket, kind of. It's only a 2-3 man rush, so there's not a whole lot of pressure there at all. But overall, he's just chilling in the pocket, and then he just doesn't make a good decision. So he has 2 outlet guys here that he probably should throw the ball to, just so he doesn't force the ball over. You got the lead. You're up 16-3. Your defense is playing really well. It's okay to take the underneath route and let a guy make something happen versus taking a deep shot when you don't really need to. So, boom. He's chilling there. And something that guy's not open, that guy's not open. This guy might be open. I can't get a full view of the coverage, but he's by himself. And just making this throw over the middle just isn't smart. It's not very good decision making, and he does have a problem with his decision making at times. And that's something he continually needs to work on. So in this situation, I'd probably say throwing it to one of these outlet guys here or here is probably his best choice, because that'll allow that guy to maybe make a play over somebody, probably number 2. He looks like more of the speedier guy here. Get the ball to him, let him make somebody miss in the open field, and see if he can get those 15 yards versus throwing the ball deep into triple coverage where it might get intercepted. We're going to go ahead and go back and watch this film in full speed. Watch this play in full speed here. And he drops back to pass. Does a good job managing the pocket, keeping his feet moving, just staying steady. But then he just makes a bad decision, throwing into like coverage of 4 people and not following all the way through on his throw. So he still fades away on his throw, not able to put as much mustard on it, overthrows it a little bit, and was almost disastrous versus just throwing to a short guy and caught having a punt. So it's on plays like these that I really enjoy his pocket movement. This is really subtle movement. This is not a big play at all. His next play is a lot bigger, but it was a really easy play for him, so that's why I'm not highlighting it. We're going to see here he drops back. Just a little movement there to avoid the oncoming pass rush and get the ball to his open receiver in the flat, and the guy ends up getting a first down. It's a really good play to make something happen in a situation where, hey, it's a very small play in the grand scheme of things, but I'm going to go ahead and throw this in slow-mo here. So he drops back at the top of his drop. He steps up a little, steps to the side and up a little bit to avoid the rusher here before getting rid of the ball short to an open guy because he sees all three of these guys are surrounding the other crossing route. Very simple concept, very simple throw, but a really good job in the pocket, moving very slightly to make something happen. We're going to run through it one more time. So as you see, just really slight, really easy. Step to the right and step up to avoid the incoming pass rusher from your left tackle, who's really struggled all game. And then you just let your receiver make something happen. Sometimes that's the best you can do as a quarterback. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys like and subscribe if you like the content. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Next videos will be out Friday, Saturday, and Sunday next week. And there should be a little bit more polish on those because I'm just getting better and better as I go on. So I want to thank you guys for watching, paying attention. And, hey, you can follow me and the podcast and or YouTube on Twitter at TGP_podcast. There should be an episode coming out this Thursday. I'm working on that. There may be some delays on that due to coronavirus things and just me waiting for some tech and stuff like that. And also just seeing if I get certain interviews or school stuff. So there may be a delay on that. I'll let you guys know a little bit later in the week. But super excited to drop these videos for you guys. And, hey, thank you guys for watching. That's going to be it for this. Like I said before, you can follow me at TGB_podcast on Twitter and Instagram. You can also check in with the podcast on wherever you find podcast catchers. So wherever you can find podcasts. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Stay on duty, guard.